Hey guys, it's me and welcome to another edition of the vlog. So just as a reminder, this video is not exactly a recap per se, it's more of a discussion about the episode, themes, so on and so forth. So it kind of requires you to have seen the episode. So if you haven't, go watch it, then come back. All right, so last night's episode was a novel approach. I do so love a punny title, and this really hit those requirements. So the novel approach in question was, the novel in question, was The Dread Doctors, the book that Malia had found in the last episode. And really that was kind of the core of the overall story from this one. And it was them trying to figure out what role this novel played. And all through it, everybody has their own stuff going on. So Kira's still worried about Scott not remembering that he said he loved her, which he did remember by the end. Kira's been a little out of sorts. She's been speaking in Japanese in her sleep when she doesn't actually speak Japanese. So if anyone could tell me what she's saying, I would greatly appreciate it, because I'm sure it's very important. Speaking of Kira, we were also treated to a very interesting moment where Kira asked Scott what he could see when, he alpha-eyed up. And, there was the kitsune, but the kitsune was actually pointing to where her missing sword was. And that was not exactly something that Scott told Kira. And, haven't we learned that keeping secrets is a big problem? Speaking of secrets, Styles has killed someone. It was Donovan, who he was trying to get to Styles. Not to kill him, but to, gnaw on him a little bit. And Styles, thinking quickly, pulled out something from the scaffolding in the library, and Donovan got impaled, and he watched him die. And then Styles trying to do the right thing, called the cops so they could find the body, except it wasn't there, because Parrish took it. I don't even know that Parrish knows he took it, but Parrish took it. So they figured out that all the bodies were missing, but you know what? And Scott's talking about the two that they knew about, Tracy and Lucas. And their Styles saying absolutely nothing and feeling incredibly guilty, especially when Scott says that these guys weren't really the bad guys. It was the doctors. I don't know about that. Donovan definitely did seem like a bad guy, so there's that. Donovan is the anti-Styles. His father was injured while on duty, and Donovan blames Styles' dad. That's exactly why he wants Styles' dad to die. And it's why he wants Styles to be injured. He's the anti-Styles. Or was, because he's dead. Everything led them to Eichen House, which Kira and Scott insisted on going along with. Like Styles and Lydia couldn't handle it. There was some weird, awkward shipping moment. Like, it was supposed to be like, I don't know. It seemed like the relationship primer on Styles and Lydia. I don't exactly ship that ship. Not that I don't like Styles and Lydia together, but I like them better as friends. Mostly because I don't know that necessarily that sending the message to a guy that really you should just befriend a girl and wait until the time is right is necessarily the right message. And I say that as a girl who's had plenty of guys try to do just that. It's really annoying, and that is absolutely not the message we should be sending kids today. Really, no. If a girl likes you, she likes you. If she doesn't, she doesn't. So I've actually liked the two of them becoming friends because I just like that a lot more. I like them being friends and getting to know each other. And if anything were to happen way in the future, I think it would be cool. But that whole conversation about how he still loves her kind of a thing, it's gonna, it destroys that message of, like not biding your time. Okay, so in Eichen House, we got to see Tyler Posey's dad again. That's always fun. We also got to see the guy with the third eye, whose name I can't remember, and he wanted a banshee scream in exchange for the information about the Dread Doctor's book, which he had written. And he explained that the Nemeton indeed called the Dread Doctors there, and that they need to read the book. And that apparently if you read the book, then you'll remember if the doctors are around. And we saw Lydia with flashes of her in the hospital. So apparently we really, really, really need to have Lydia read the book. Other stuff that was going on before we get to the big thing. Malia and Theo, yeah. So Theo, trying hard to seem like a nice guy, even though we know who Theo really is, was with Malia in the library. He tried to help her drive, and finally Malia remembers what she's been trying to remember every time she's been in the car, which is that she actually was not responsible for the car accident that killed her mother and her sister. It was the Desert Wolf. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So honestly, I'm going to be like one of those people that even though I wasn't really proud of the execution of Stalia, and I still don't think they're necessarily a great match for each other because they're a little too similar, and I don't know, I'm mostly just like, we got cheated out of the really fun stuff, which is, or how a relationship comes together. Yeah, definitely not a Theo and Malia shipper, because one, he's evil, she's not. She might not always have the moral high ground, but she tries. And that's kind of the big difference, where Theo, like, yeah, no, Theo's evil. Okay, so the big thing is that we learned that the way that Eichenhaus's supernatural jail works is that Eichenhaus is actually on a couple of the ley lines, so they use that in addition to mountain ash to keep everyone in. But Kira managed to short it out, which seems really weird. Like, shouldn't Kira have been running into ley line problems all the time, considering Beacon Hills is built all over them, you know? But, and then, so Kira was getting zapped. Scott, pulled her out while she was electrocuting him. And, and he told her that he did remember that he said he loved her. Of course, her sword is inside. So the Dread Doctors came in, they extracted the guy's third eye. I'm trying to remember what else. He said something about his former cellmate, which I'm 90% sure that the World Works in Progress, that is Peter, right? I mean, it's not, it is Peter, yeah. Anyways. All in all, I mean, it was kind of a weird episode. Now we have secrets. We have major secrets coming from everyone. Scott's keeping stuff from Kira. Styles is keeping stuff from everyone. Lydia gave the guy the scream. And I don't think Lydia's mentioned that she has any doubts about anything that happened while she was in the hospital. So we have some big stuff going on here. And kind of time for people to start talking. Otherwise, the fact that this pack is going to start splintering apart has absolutely everything to do with all the problems they've had since the beginning, which is that no one ever talks to each other. Sadly, no Mason, no Liam in this episode, and I love those two babies. So this was just one big ball of angst without any, happiness to kind of break it up. Oh well. Anyways, I think that's it. I don't really know I can't really say where things are going in the future, because the Dread Doctors have things. I mean, obviously, I'm guessing them taking the third eye from the guy was pretty important, that it's going to make him not effective to be able to help the pack in the future. Although, really, I don't think anyone's going to be letting them anyone from Eichenhaus is going to be letting them down there in the future, just because Kira shorted out the thing and let in these Dread Doctors. So that is really on them. Although it's not really on, you could see that Styles is trying to carry all of this guilt for, it's all our fault, because obviously the Nemeton was calling everyone there. But at the same time, would it really have been worth letting Julia get the upper hand? I mean, really? That's the thing. That's the nature of trying to save people, is that you have to make tough decisions, and sometimes what you think is the right decision has effects later on. But does it still mean that what would have happened originally would have, I mean, they're all tough decisions. It's not going to get any easier. And unfortunately, that's the way life is. You make what you think is a good decision and it echoes further down the line and then you're not sure. I think that's it. I don't know. I got really deep there at the end. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, please leave me some comments. Let me know. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click on the little green thing right there. You can find me all over the internet, though. I have a website. It is whitneydrake.com. I do blog there occasionally. I'm trying to get better about it, you guys. I'm also on Twitter. I'm at Whitney D. I am on Facebook. It's Geek Pirate Mom. And I'm on Tumblr. I'm Winged Kiari, but be careful. That's not always safe for work. Then again, it's Tumblr. Tumblr's not always safe for work. And I'm on Instagram. I'm Whitney Drake. And I'm on Google+, and you can find that as well as links to everything I just mentioned over on my website, which is whitneydrake.com. Well, I hope you guys have a great week. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. The sneak peek, they decided to stash that after Scream, which I can understand. They want people to watch Scream, but still a little bummed. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.